Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head.
Taekook, under that umbrella, the world was never the same again. There was no fanfare, no press release, no camera flashes announcing a new era. Just one night, a dimming stage, and a single breath held across thousands of chests. June 13, 2025. What was meant to be remembered as J-Hope's farewell concert, a beautiful closing chapter in BTS history, became something more. Because fate, as always, had its own script. The songs flowed. Tears fell. Hugs and laughter blended in a symphony of nostalgia. But then, as if even time itself held its breath, something shifted in the air. The spotlight didn't shine on stage. It lit up the VIP seats, where someone sat. Quiet. Still. No announcement. No entourage. Taehyung. Kim Taehyung. V. Not draped in grandeur. Just himself. With that smile that never forgets where it belongs. Among his 6 brothers, RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, Jungkook. He sat like a dream come to life. Whole again. Complete. And amidst the roaring crowd it happened. A song. Still With You. Jungkook began to sing, his eyes searching. And when they found Taehyung among the audience, the world paused. No wave. No grand gesture. Just a smile. Soft. Trembling. Tearing down every wall between idol and human. They called it the reunion gaze. One look. 1,000 stories. 1,000,000 wounds healing. And a universe that made sense, if only for that shared glance. The next morning, the world started to understand what had really happened. In silence, Taehyung had just won the 2025 Best Solo Idol Award. No promotions. No media appearances. Just loyalty. Just love. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag the return of V. Hashtag our soul never left. But maybe the most touching moment wasn't the award itself. It was Jungkook's quiet Instagram story. No face. No selfie. Just a song. Inner child. And once again the world cried. Silently. In a language no words could speak. Soon after, Taehyung posted a photo. All 7. Backstage. Smiling like the old days. The caption? We're back. 2 words. But it felt like the beginning of a new world. And as if that wasn't enough, he went live. No makeup. No filter. Just a hoodie. And eyes that told more stories than any mouth ever could. I'm back, he whispered. And I want to keep singing for all of you. But the emotional peak hadn't come yet. That night, after the concert ended, J-Hope, eyes glistening, hugged each member. Then, Taehyung walked toward Jungkook. 1 step. 2. And without a single word, they embraced. Not a polite hug. Not a staged interaction. A real one. A homecoming hug. A reunion of souls after getting lost for too long in the noise of the world. Fans called it the hug of the decade. Not because it was famous, but because in that silent embrace there was an unspoken truth. I'm still here. We were never really apart. And just as the world was still trying to process the emotions, a grainy fan video appeared. Blurry. Far away. But sometimes what's unseen hits the hardest. Taehyung and Jungkook. Walking in the rain. Under one black umbrella. No bodyguards. No lights. No cameras. Just them. No dialogue. But their bodies spoke. Shoulders touching. Steps in sync. And the world realized. This isn't a love story. It's home. It's the universe's embrace, disguised as 2 young men walking in the soul rain. New hashtags flooded the internet like a soft storm. Hashtag under the umbrella. Hashtag Taekook rainwalk. Hashtag this is real. Because it wasn't a video. It was poetry. Written in silence. Sung in steps. And behind all of it the world knew. This wasn't staged. This wasn't planned. This wasn't fan service. This wasn't drama. It was Taehyung and Jungkook. 2 boys who once dreamed together. Who fell together. Who grew apart. But always found their way back. Jin, in a backstage candid, whispered to Taehyung. You never left. You just dove deeper. And now you've returned. And Jungkook, in a single sentence on Weverse, sealed it all. When Taehyung appeared, it felt like coming home. This wasn't just the return of V. It was the rebirth of something greater. A reminder that love, in its purest form, needs no stage, no spotlight, just one umbrella, and two souls walking together in the rain. And sometimes, that's more than enough to heal the world. The next morning, Seoul's sky was still overcast, as if even the heavens weren't ready to forget what had happened the night before. And on the internet, silence wasn't apathy, it was reflection. Because how could anyone find the words to breathe again, after witnessing two souls quietly rediscover each other amid the chaos of the world? The umbrella video was replayed millions of times. But what moved people wasn't their steps, it was their stillness. A silence that spoke volumes. A distance that nearly vanished. Not as idols, but as humans, who had once been lost in the glitter and now had become each other's map. A few hours later, a music journalist wrote on their personal blog, "I've watched hundreds of performances, hundreds of comebacks. But I've never seen two people walk like that, with the kind of weight only carried by hearts that know each other's wounds." That very day, Weverse was flooded with long letters from fans. Not about hysteria, but about healing. Many wrote how that embrace reminded them of a lost family member, of a friend who turned away, of a love that was never spoken but felt every night nonetheless. And amid all of it, V, with the calm of a deep ocean, chose to remain silent. Until midnight. He posted a single 15-second video. No words. Just a dark sky, the sound of rain tapping on a window, and a soft piano melody that felt all too familiar. Fans immediately recognized it. His old composition, Scenery. And at the end of the video, a single sentence appeared. In small, white, simple font. "We never truly leave if we always carry each other in silence." No names needed. Everyone knew it was for Jungkook. Minutes later, Jungkook responded. By not responding. He simply changed his profile picture to the silhouette of two people standing under an umbrella. And the world understood. By the next morning, the K-pop world witnessed a second miracle. One of South Korea's legendary music producers, rarely commenting on fourth-gen idols, suddenly tweeted, "Taehyung and Jungkook aren't just performers. They are living poets. If you listen with your heart, even their footsteps become a symphony." A Japanese news outlet called their moment a new ground zero in the emotional history of K-pop. In France, a screenwriter described it as a visual poem in a world oversaturated with filters. In Indonesia, the trending tags were hashtag the hug that taught us and hashtag rain and two hearts. But the story was far from over. 3 days after the embrace, Big Hit dropped an unexpected announcement. An exclusive documentary titled Under the Rain, The Return of the Soul, to be released next month. A 90-minute film, not just covering the concert, but the behind-the-scenes journey of Taehyung's return. And what left ARMY breathless? The narrator, Jungkook. The teaser clip revealed only one scene. Jungkook sitting in a dark studio, alone with a microphone and a black and white screen. His voice came in soft, heavy. Sometimes we lose someone, not because they left, but because we weren't quiet enough to hear them still calling from afar. At the end of the teaser, the screen turned black, and one sentence appeared. We waited in silence. And now he has returned. Not as an idol, but as a soul. The day of the documentary release felt like a global holiday. Theaters were packed. Fans gathered around big and small screens. Not just to watch, but to heal, to feel. And at the end of the documentary, as the screen faded to darkness, one final clip appeared. Taehyung sitting on his home balcony. The camera captured only his silhouette, his face unseen, but his voice clear as ever. If the world feels too cold, then let's meet in the rain. There you'll understand that I and he, we never left you. The screen went black, and the whole world cried together. And so it is, from a single embrace, the world learned to love again. Not the kind of love that shouts in crowds, but the kind that waits in silence, like rain that falls without a promise, yet always comes when the earth is most thirsty. Taehyung and Jungkook didn't craft a script. They didn't sell an illusion. What we witnessed was honesty in its most fragile form. Two souls who grew, who hurt, who got lost, and then chose to return. Not to a place, but to each other. We may never fully know the story behind that umbrella. But sometimes the best stories aren't meant to be explained. only felt, only remembered, and only believed that the world truly can feel warmer when two footsteps walk side by side. To everyone who watched, cried, and felt, thank you for joining this emotional journey. Because this isn't just a story about two stars, it's about all of us who have hoped, who have waited, and who still believe that small miracles can happen in the rain. See you in the next video. We'll keep walking together, story by story, beneath the same umbrella, where love and pain learn to make peace.
You wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.